Hello, everybody, and welcome to Project Talk, your favorite 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast live stream, talking about some projects. So, all right, let's get a couple things. Clear real quick. First of all, I was not paying attention to that countdown, and that caught me a little off guard. The other thing is, the title of this video is the one where James returns, and as you can see, he is not yet returned. He's got a couple things going on at the house, but he will be joining us hopefully relatively soon. Otherwise, you guys are stuck looking at and listening to me for 2 hours while I ramble on technically to myself. And I have not done that in a long, long time. I've not done a solo live stream in so long. I'm not even sure I know how to do it anymore. Episode 9, the one where James almost returned. No, I'm going to keep glancing down every once in a while, checking the green room to see when he pops in. He has full access to show up. I tried to get creative and have an image of a cute Shiba Inu puppy up with me, but StreamYard doesn't handle that the same way as two people. And I didn't think about it till too later. I would have done it from a second computer, which would have been fun as well. So let's run down the chat because that's always important. Me sitting here talking to myself is stupid, but me sitting here talking to you is important. So Andy gets bragging rights tonight because he is the first. And we have Sergio, HVAC A to Z. Alan Osborne is here. And a huge shout out to Alan for becoming a grandfather yesterday. Congratulations. Hope everybody is doing well. We have, that Fun King 3D guy is in the chat. Clint is here. And Brian Vines and Scott McClellan sliding in at the very bottom before I cut it off. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I hope that everybody has been having a great week here in the, well, I guess worldwide, but here in the United States, we celebrate July the 4th as our Independence Day, which is coming up in just 2 weeks. But more exciting than that, I am on vacation. Work has been excessively stressful lately. Well, life has been excessively stressful lately. But I took 2 weeks off of work, which is just unheard of. For us to get 2 weeks off in a row just does not normally happen. Huge shout out to Mark. Thank you for the 10 US dollarinos. Glenn rambling aimlessly for 2 hours. Well, this will be interesting. Well, you know what's even worse is I'm tired. I didn't get much sleep last night. And so there's no telling. There's no telling where today can go. But no, I'm on vacation for 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. Oh, Sergio laying down the 1999 and already knocking Mark off of his throne for the day. Woo! Thank you, Sergio. It is greatly appreciated. Sorry, Mark. That was a short run for you, buddy. But the wife and the smallest humans that I'm personally responsible for we are going on a trip. We are leaving tomorrow morning. We are going to go and spend a couple of days at the beach over by Tampa, Florida. I'm not going to tell you what beach because I don't want you guys showing up and taking pictures of this amazing bod that's going to be on the beach. And then from there, we're going to go and spend a night down in South Florida. There's a place here in Florida called Loxahatchee. And in Loxahatchee, there's a place called Lion Country Safari, which is a drive-through safari. And we've been there a few times. Absolutely phenomenal. And as Zach gets a little older, and still super interested in animals, I think he's going to appreciate it more now than ever before. So now that you guys know my whole entire personal schedule for the week, please do not attempt to come and break into my house. There will be somebody here and he would probably be quite shocked if he showed up. So, the rise and fall of dictatorship sees the day. Well, it's like that never-ending quest to be first. But not only do you have to be first, you got to have the highest amount. So, Mark says Thursday. He's heading in my direction. I think you told me where you were going, and you don't have to share it if you don't want to. But if I remember right, you were going to be on the other side of the state. We were planning on kind of doing a big loop. We were going to go to the beach and then to the Lion Country Safari and then out to Kennedy Space Center and home. But we just decided that's so much packed together that we're going to be exhausted and we won't appreciate the Space Center. And nothing against the Space Center. I haven't been there in many years. I remember going there when I was quite a bit younger. I enjoyed it. I love the space program, but for the family of four, for the four of us to go, it's going to be like $200. So I'm having a hard time. Justifying that. My wife keeps telling me to stop worrying about the money that we have vacation money put away, but there's so many other things I'd rather buy than a vacation. So I hope everybody's projects are going well. I've been working on some fix-it things here around the house. Cute story to tell, somewhat personal, but so I built the vanity that's in my master bathroom, and I actually built it out of IKEA kitchen cabinets. So it's base cabinets. There's my brother from another mother. Hello, Mr. James.
I have no sound, apparently.
You can't hear me?
Because, of course, it's just this.
Excellent. We can hear you. I don't know why I'm telling him that because...
Okay, I have sound now.
Okay, so you can... Because we can hear you.
That's good.
So I was in the middle of a story. Let me finish this cute story. So I built the vanity in the bathroom. It's IKEA kitchen cabinets, so it's nice and high. And then it's got two upright cabinets, and I was custom building a top for it, which was just setting up there. So some of you have met my cat, Dottie, the black and white one. Her new name is Shithed, spelled Shitthead and pronounced like it's spelled Shithed. I was, let's see, how do we put it? I was, as the king, I was sitting upon my throne, and she decided to try to get on the top of that, and it's not secured. So this board is 8 feet wide by like 1.5 foot deep, 3/4 inch particle board. That thing flipped off of there. She falls. The board comes down, wails me like right across. Maybe I can show it. Right across the leg. Can you guys see the injury?
Oh.
Just pelted me. So that's when she officially got her name changed from Dottie to Shithed.
Would you say that it scared the shit out of you?
It's the shith, yeah. I think it scared the shit out of her. We definitely think she lost one of her lives at least.
Because of the fall, or because of you yelling at her afterwards?
Well, I didn't yell at her. Like I not gasped, but like I seen it coming. I seen it coming down. And so like I guess I had a verbal outburst because I knew it was about to happen. But yeah. Mark said that's better than falling off a ladder. Well, let me tell you another cute story.
Does it involve falling off a ladder?
It does, actually. So the other day when I'm working on my roof, I'm coming down the extension ladder and my shoes are bad. And I know I shouldn't wear bad shoes on the roof, but my shoes are bad. They're my favorite shoes, though. They're my garage shoes. And as I'm coming down, my shoe catches the rung of the ladder, and I missed the rung of the ladder and went through the ladder. So I didn't actually fall off of the ladder. I really fell onto the ladder. So, like, I fell through the rung of the ladder. I was only like 3 feet off the ground, but it was enough. It hurt. So
sounds like you need more essential oils.
I don't know. I need something. I think I need professional help. But so how is Kay? You don't have to go into detail if you don't want to, but how is she?
She's still quite nauseous, but she said she would send me a message if she thought there's something I could do to help.
Very, very sorry. Very sorry. So, let's see. I wasn't watching chat so much. Mark said, so me dropping by and running a print on the FK1 is not going to happen. Well, if you're not heading down till Thursday, I'll actually be home on Thursday, but no, it's probably still not going to happen. Paul Cumber says happy for Father's Day, Glenn and James.
Kids, but I'll still take the happy Father.
Well, you know, Sean and I were talking about this, and we decided it's not really Father's Day anyway. It's more like Dude's Day.
Dude's Day.
Yeah, it's just Dude's Day. But yes, I do have two small humans that I am personally responsible for. So,
That's your mistake.
What's that?
That's your mistake.
Yeah. Toph says, what's the FK1 doing? I was actually going to work on the FK1 today.
So you start off all of our live streams by saying that.
What's that?
That's how you start off all of our live streams by saying.
Yeah, well, it was going to be last week, and then where you weren't here, and it was Mitch and I. Like, I didn't want to ignore the chat and stuff.
It's better when I'm here so that we can both ignore chat.
Right. Well, and then my thought was today, but it ended up. I just had so much going on. I ended up spending the day editing video. Yes, there's a video coming.
Which channel? Which channel?
3D. It will be out tomorrow at noon. It's a MakerBox video. It is Zach's first in the right-hand man seat. So it's not typical Zach, that's for sure. And in the beginning, he didn't realize that he could talk. That was pretty funny. Like, he was being all quiet. I'm like, you can talk. But okay, so we should tell you guys right now, next week there will not be a stream. Because
we both have stuff going on, and it's going to be hit or miss as to whether or not we're both back in time. So
yeah, I don't feel like it. No, because I'm on vacation. I had said to James, I said, I don't even know. I don't know what we're going to be doing. So like, I may or may not be able to do the stream. And then he said, well, I got stuff going too, so let me know. And I said, all right, well, let's just call it off. So not to say that we may not do an impromptu stream some other time. Don't know. But at this point, we're going to say no stream next Sunday. And if it works out where we can stream next Sunday, it'll be like a bonus to no one. But, it'll be a bonus stream. But the next stream pending no major difficulties. So at this point, I would say the week after next. That's 4th of July weekend here in the U.S., though. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, it's actually the 4th of July, but we don't do anything for the 4th because I don't like crowds of people.
I'm glad you pointed out, because you also just pointed out that next week is potentially a short week for me, because Canada Day long weekend is also that weekend.
What's that weekend?
Canada Day long weekend.
Oh, Canada Day?
Yeah, Canada Day is July 1st, and then you guys are on the 4th.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. But the next stream that we're having, I will absolutely try my bestest to have that monster pulled over here where you guys can see it, and then I can work on getting it all leveled out again. I want to fire it up and try running some PETG through it because it's never run anything but PLA, so that'll be fun.
Question: is my audio noisier than usual?
It's quiet, but that could be me too. I ended up turning my speakers down last week because of the train wreck of a intro that we had, where the audio was looping last week. Tom Lama said, with you, Glenn, I don't like crowds. I always find a place way off from them to watch if I go at all. Well, I can see the fireworks right out the front windows of my house. They're just really small. They're a long way away. And there's Mr. David Randolph joining us. I'm glad you're here, Dave, because I have a printed solid Jesse box down here that I intend to open. And from what I hear, best letter yet. So... Andy said no sound from James. Oh, he's muted. Could be purpose. Could be accidental. Maybe I did it to him. I mean, like StreamYard is muted. There you go.
Is my audio working now?
It is now.
I was talking, and I thought you were just talking over top of me and being rude.
Well, I like to do that to you.
I was saying my audio, I'm trying to check on it to see if it's as clear as normal because I acquired a retired Dell R710 server with two PowerVault 1000 storage blades that's now running in my laundry room.
Oh.
And the decibels around that are 62. 62 decibels if you're standing next to it. And the laundry room is directly here to me, and I can hear them running from here. It's just a whisper, but I haven't tried to record any video since I don't hear anything different.
So oh good, I'm nice and loud.
So I think it'll be okay because I think my recording audio is going to be 20 to 30 decibels louder than any of the noise coming from there. So I should be able to filter it out. But I need to see what it sounds like after the noise cancellation is done because sometimes you just sound like a robot getting a something exam.
I wonder if you got some of those egg crates and put them on the walls in the laundry room.
Well, that's the thing too, is that the walls are finished on this side, but not on the other side.
Ah.
So I could potentially just stuff stuff into the space in between the studs.
Yeah, some insulation.
Yeah, but
David said he's Canadian. He expects us Americans to be rude and louder.
That's true.
Oh.
I am tired and completely unprepared for this stream. I had said I'm going to head downstairs at like 3:45 because I have something I want to work on and I want to get the desk clear off and stuff. And then she got feeling not too good. So
yeah. Well, I came up at it was lunchtime. Yeah, it was lunchtime. I came up and started editing that video, and I wasn't like in a hurry. I wasn't like speed editing or whatever. I was just kind of messing around, and all of a sudden, like it was getting really late in the day, and then I started packing for our trip tomorrow and getting stuff loaded into the car, and then poof, it was time. So
weird that we picked the same time to be on vacation because I'm also off this week.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of mechanics involved in why I picked the time that I did as far as work goes.
Oh, you threw a dart at a wall?
Well, no, it was pretty much if I waited one more day, I was going to rage quit.
Oh, that's fair.
It's just been really stressful. I've been doing this job now it'll be 6 years in November. And I know a lot of people laugh at that because some people have been at their job for 35 years and stuff, but I typically make it 2 or 3 years at a job. So this is pretty good for me. I like the people that own the company I work for. I like the job that I do. I don't like the crap that goes along with it, I guess is really what it comes down to. So
do what you love. Never work a day in your life. I learned that in the beginning.
What I love is sitting around doing nothing. The problem is it doesn't give you a paycheck.
I mean, the more videos you put out, the more it actually does. Because like I haven't put out a video in a month, but I've brought in X number of dollars over the past month for not having put out a video.
Yeah.
You just need to get to the point where your YouTube channel is completely self. See, that's the thing. Technology channels need to keep up. If you do a comedy channel or something like that, and your comedy is somewhat timeless, then you may have decades of money coming out of it. Although I think you have to post a video every 6 months to remain monetized.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. I can't even give a status for Fun King Garage, but I'm going to concentrate on getting that figured out. A lot of thinking will occur while I'm sitting on the beach over the next couple of days.
You've made a lot of people a lot of promises, so figure it out.
Personally, I don't really like the beach. I can't sit around doing nothing. So we're actually going to a beach where you can find shark's teeth. So I'll be spending a lot of my time doing that, but it'll also give me a period of time to figure out the direction that I want to go. It should be known because I've announced publicly that we had a commission job to do. Unfortunately, that commission job fell through because the guy didn't realize you can't buy a Bugatti for the price of a Honda Civic. So that took a dump.
Was that the big project you were supposed to be doing? Like that was supposed to be your entire like first season?
Yeah, that project would have been an entire first season. So, but it's all right.
Oh, so you came back to him and said, this is how much it's going to cost. And he was like, I thought you were going to knock off a zero off of that.
Yeah, it was pretty much like, oh, you're going to charge me to do this? You know, like getting the content was going to be the payment. I'm like, dude, you're looking at like this number just in parts. But
he's paying you an exposure, though. That's very common.
Right, yeah. He was helping me to become popular.
I've been looking to open up a bank account for depositing all my exposure.
That's right. But no, it's all going to be just fine. It's no big deal. If I could get my Corvette sold, which, by the way, if anybody out there is looking for a 1976 Corvette Stingray, I shared it on Twitter. It's on Facebook.
I heard I sharded on Twitter and on Facebook.
What's that? I
heard I sharded on Twitter and on Facebook.
Oh, no, I didn't start on Twitter. I do on Facebook, but no, I shared it. So
I think I have a pie problem. This is the number of pies that were just sitting on my desk as I'm tidying it up.
That is a pie problem.
And like this is just like the tip of the iceberg. I got a drawer of them filled with the various types of orange pies, and I ordered more because I'm stupid.
David said I exposed myself once and nobody paid me, but I have to pay the government.
Oh, that was him on the internet. I thought so. I'm going to be back in 1 second. So I've been sort of organizing a spot on my desk to continue working on what I was planning to work on today. I plan to fully clean my desk so that I, didn't end up knocking off a bunch of stuff, but this is Project Talk with James and Glenn, so things have to get broken. I have a solar USB battery bank, and I can't tell if it's by design, but there's like a slight curvature here, so I'm slightly concerned that the battery might be swollen.
Is it curved in or out?
It's curved out.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a Samsung Note 8 phone that had taken some damage, which is how I ended up with it.
Yep.
And I had forgot about it. I was digging around on my desk the other day, and I found it, and the battery is like super swollen. And I'm not really sure how to go about getting rid of that safely.
And it's like I feel like battery technology is getting weaker because I've got my Note 3 right here. It's got a crack,
one of those,
but it still works. But there's the battery for it, the original battery.
Yep, flat as can be.
Flat as can be. Never had, because there's somebody put out a PSA on Reddit, and it was like, make sure to check your old phones. A lot of people have them just sitting in their drawer somewhere, and those batteries become ticking time bombs. So I went through.
That's kind of what I run into with this Note 8. It's like super swollen. I don't want to just throw it away because I don't want it to like explode and catch a garbage truck on fire.
So here's what you do: you take it out. You take it out to like the middle of your driveway. You put it out, and then you puncture a hole in it and run away.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
And record it.
And film it. Yeah.
Fun King Garage. You will hit view times of monetization immediately.
What I hear is to actually let the danger out safely, you have to take a nail and a hammer and like you got to get your face right in there though, so you can make sure you get it in the right spot, and then you just.
When should you stop? You will know when to stop. If you have to ask, is this the point of no return? You haven't hit it yet.
Andy said small amount of C4 in the back garden will get rid of it for you. Oh, if only I could have some C4.
Just bury it 3 or 4 feet underground where it can't hurt anybody. That's what we do with all of our problems. Just bury them deep down.
Just bury them. Bury them in Yucca Mountain. Oh. Take to Walter and let him shoot it. Well, I could shoot it. That's not really the problem.
Everybody's got guns.
Well, here in the U.S. we do. My guns have guns.
Is that a joke about your arms? Because if so, that was remotely clever.
Law and Order.
Come on. This is that retractable mouse. Did not want to retract. Now it's retracted. But not redacted.
Not redacted.
Oh, I have no idea why I'm tired, but I am tired right now.
Well, I was not tired last night, so I did not sleep. I didn't go to sleep until somewhere between 1 and 2, and then I was awake by 7 o'clock this morning so that we could go to church. But then my children refused to get up, and we didn't end up going. So Jesus isn't going to love them anymore. Oops.
Just say, oh, look on the bright side. You'll never have to worry about not being warm.
I have to be careful. I didn't marker through my address on this box. Oh, there's David throwing down $9.99. David, I greatly appreciate that $9.99, but I can't give you a banner for $9.99 because it does not surpass. It does not surpass Sergio's $19.99. You know, we should make it where when it expires off of. In fact, I think that's the new rule. If it expires off of YouTube, then it expires.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well,
I don't want people to think that they have to throw down more money.
Yeah,
you should throw down more money. No, I'm just...
As long as people know the rule, because you don't want somebody donating when somebody's already up there, and then so they donate $10. The person ahead of them donated $20.
Well, it just happened. Mark threw down $10, and seconds later, Sergio threw down $19.99. But the way that it was running, you always had to outdo the other guy. But I think
chat can fix this right now. Anybody in chat can fix it by donating more than $9.99. I have no horses in this. I guess I do technically. We just haven't figured out how we're doing that yet.
Yeah. I don't want it to get to the point where somebody feels like they can't donate because they don't have enough. I know what it's like to be broke.
Me too.
I have 2 small humans that I'm personally responsible for. Hey, David, when you send me my Jesse boxes from now on, can you black out my address and the tracking number and stuff before you send it? I mean, it's not like oh no. See, why did you do that? See, I changed the rules just for you, David, and then you go and do that. That is greatly appreciated.
I finally acquired something that I've been trying to get a hold of for a while, and it didn't. Well, I mean, it did cost me quite a bit, but I got more than just this for the price. I got this guy.
Nice.
So hopefully it works. I went on eBay. So interesting things to note before I start into it. Do you recognize that motor right there?
It looks like a NEMA 17.
It is a NEMA 17. And then there's also even just your standard limit switch right here.
Yeah.
So
well, stuff was built so much bigger back then. There was space inside of it.
Yep. I mean, yeah, look at how much... When I hold it up like that, look at how much empty space there is around it.
Yeah. Well, that thing is huge.
It's huge.
Mark said, just run the banner every 15 minutes. Yeah, but then I have to keep track of 15 minutes. So at least this way I can look up, and if it's expired out of the chat, then I know the next person can go. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I like putting people's names up there. I like recognizing you guys that support me. So, and I really mean us. I just don't share with James.
It's true. We often discuss sharing with me, and it's
what I do is I take half the money and I convert it into Canadian, and it ends up equaling 0. So I just don't send it to him.
No, if it was US, it would end up equaling so much more than it does. You're doing it the wrong way. You messed up the joke. So got this floppy drive, and it came out of an old computer. I've got an XT8088. And it has 2 of these drives in it, and I want to set one up for a more modern computer so I can write disks for data I've pulled off the internet. And go digging through my literally dozens of floppy drive cables, and none of them have the edge connector.
Oh, they're only the pins.
Yeah. So then I go on eBay and it's like 50 or 60 bucks for the cable.
Holy cow.
Like, well, I'm still not buying it then. And then I go on Amazon and Amazon still sells them for like 16 bucks.
God, to think how many I've thrown away through the years.
Yeah. You're sitting on a gold mine.
Well, I was.
You went from sitting on it to sheathing on it.
Oh, I like days like this. Mark throwing down 25 US dollar Renos. Okay, then we'll handle it like David did. Sorry, David.
I didn't mean to start this.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, that's true. David did throw down a 10 and a 24.99. So you guys are really messing with me.
I beat Simon.
All right, so as soon as David's expires out, then I'll put Mark back up. I quit. I'm going home.
Okay, new rules. Keep donating money. We're not doing anything.
Donate enough and I'll leave. Oh, that's true. Mark is $35.
Just tell them that as soon as they've donated more than you'll make off ad revenue, we'll quit. That way, the first donation, we're done for the day.
Yeah, that's like 8 cents. Yeah.
Oh, you don't tell them that.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to give that amount out, was I?
I'm just gonna keep showing off old stuff that I've got piled back here. This is a Pong console.
It's a what?
It's a Pong console.
Oh, Pong.
Yeah. So the paddles are up here, I think.
John Butler sliding in.
It's just a potentiometer on a stick.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's one of the ones where they hadn't figured out how to send the audio to the TV, so it's got a built-in speaker and it runs on batteries.
Wow.
And I haven't taken the batteries out of it, so it probably will still turn on if I... Where is it? Here. There we go.
That is some high-tech sound effects. Whew.
And that's enough. You know what? We're going to get demonetized because it's going to recognize the sound and it's going to send the money over to Lloyd's TV Sport Game 801. Don't get smaller.
David throwing down $4.99. Bring it on, Mark. Oh.
Get them all riled up. This is how we get rich off somebody else's dime.
So that's what, 38, 39, 97 coming out of David Randolph. So somebody else just throw down $40 so I can knock both of these guys down.
Trying to start a bidding war?
Yeah, come on, guys. Just somebody out there. Just dig deep down in that pocket and get just $40 US out. Just think about the good that you can cause.
Could you donate $40 to a kid like me?
Mark throwing down $5 US.
Rapid cash battles of history.
I don't even know, and I can't. I mean, I can make one banner with both names, but I can't do two banners. Oh, you guys are killing me. Whew. I mean, with kindness, but nonetheless. I think we had a stream going on where we were going to talk about stuff, and I can't even remember what it was now. At some point.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
At some point. God, I can't believe nobody called me out on that box being upside down. At some point, I'm going to open this, and I'm going to read the letter. It's supposed to be the greatest letter yet.
I've got this old Celeron machine.
$45 US coming in from Bob Carnes.
Oh, look.
So we're knocking people down a peg, are we?
Yeah. And then David Randolph with 49.
$49.99 coming in from the David Randolph.
I feel like there's a good chance that David Randolph just served the fatality.
Oh my God, you guys are killing me.
And by that, he means lining my pockets.
I'd like to say that this money is going to come in very handy for my vacation, but I won't see it for months. YouTube pays very slowly.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it'll be a month. It'll get cash out. Well, in 24 days, because I think it's the 14th or the 15th of the month.
Yeah, I don't even know. I just know they take a huge chunk of it, and it's ridiculous. But why don't you split up the entire screen into small squares and sell each one instead of just one banner? Well, unfortunately, I'm kind of limited by what. Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Gene Gamble throwing down $100 US.
That's like 12,000 Canadian.
I'll just leave this here. Gene, thank you so much.
Oh, and Mark comes in just a little too late. You hate to see that, kids.
I have to create Gene a banner. Gene, that's the first time I've seen your name in chat. Is that correct? I mean, oh my gosh. Give me a minute. I have to regain my composure. Thank you so much. I mean, well, all of you.
We do appreciate it, 100%. Maybe one day we'll get that theme song we always talked about.
Well, yeah, if we could find somebody to write something decent. It was just funny because, like I was going to mention in the stream that I want to do a giveaway, and I think that this has just kind of sealed that. Because I've been wanting to do a giveaway, but we have so many people on the other side of the pond, and shipping is so ridiculously expensive. But I think we can work something out now. Oh my gosh, Gene, thank you so much.
You guys are awesome.
Gene says that he is normally just a lurker.
Oh, we lured a lurker out.
Yeah, finally brought somebody out of the woodwork. Scroll across bottom, add banner. Look it. Oh, I gotta click on shelf. Boom! This entire stream is now sponsored by Gene. Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad. Sorry, I don't want to say that because I'm quite thankful to the company that we tried to get to sponsor the stream. But in a way, it's worked out better.
Oh, yeah, you're not talking about Coca-Cola, though.
No.
Oh, thank you, all of you. I mean, I was only kidding when that whole thing started, but as long as you guys want to throw money at me, I will always take it.
I will never say no.
I never refuse cash value, but there are not many things in this world that leaves me speechless.
But getting paid.
David, I would say it was probably very close. It was probably very close. So
I would say it's the most profitable non-charity stream that I've been in. I did that charity stream a while ago, and that was
I think the only one that ever topped it was the one where Moses was here. Where Loyal Moses came in and plunked down.
I haven't done another charity stream because the company that I donated the money to started sending me mail all the time asking for more money.
More money.
Yeah, and because the first donation was so large, they were sending in ones where it was like $200 a month already filled out. Just sign it. And I'm like, I tried to do something nice, and I feel like you've spent more money contacting me than I sent you. And they contacted. So, and the thing is, when I made the donation, there's a thing where I checked off because it said, do you mind if we contact you about your donation? And I said, yes, I do mind. Or like, I opted out of them contacting me, and I got an email from them, and they're like, hey, sorry to. And they acknowledged basically that I had said don't contact me, but they decided to contact me because the donation amount was large, and they wanted to find out what caused me to make the donation. And I was like, I feel like this is not great. So, anyways, welcome.
I'm still flustered. Mark, David, Bob, Dean.
Glenn, you need to do something special. You got to do some sort of happy dance or something.
I'm working on things in my head right now. I'm not even sure how to truly acknowledge what just took place. I can finally get that surgery. I've been no. No.
Okay, well, I think this just overtook whatever the other stream was now. We were not trying to have you into...
No. Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Say thank you. Now you have a problem because you've already marked the entire stream is now sponsored by Gene Gamble. Add another banner on top that says this channel has been sponsored by Builder's Mark for 1 week.
I'll see you guys next week.
The actual gift is silence.
They finally paid me to shut up.
They said it couldn't be done.
I think it made Xander shut up too.
Well, he's just thinking he can get himself a new fancy stick of RAM for his computer.
I'm just finally let out of the basement now because of y'all.
Xander gets to eat this week. I don't even know. I don't know what to say.
I mean,
besides thank you, but thank you just doesn't feel like enough. Patrick Nienoff said, hey, Glenn, hey, James, haven't been able to watch live for a while, but what a day to start watching. Well, I'll start live watching again.
Funny because it's true.
Time to read the letter. Yeah, thanks, Dave. I have no composer at this point.
You okay, Glenn?
Yeah, typing. Now listen, I love each and every one of you, but please stop. Please just stop.
Did you get more?
Because I don't know. I just don't even know how to handle it going forward.
Jeez.
So Can I open the box now and read the letter?
Are you physically capable of doing that?
I don't even know. You guys are all so amazing. I mean, all of you are amazing, but you guys just have no idea how much the financial support truly helps with being able to get parts for projects. But I don't want any more 3D printers. I'm not buying any more 3D printers. I got enough of those. So you were watching a stream with your friends the other day. But this absolutely then seals it that we are going to do a giveaway. And I haven't reached out to David yet, but my thought is I have like stacks of filament building up. So as much as I enjoy the letters in the Jesse box, I think that I want to give away at least one of my Jesse boxes in the near future. Even if you're overseas, that's cool. I will ship it if I have to. Or I'll pay Dave to ship it, however it'll work out. But because I think the whole world should enjoy some Jesse filament beyond that. But got to pay for that diesel engine somehow and get Zach some food. Yeah, well, I can definitely pay for that diesel engine as soon as somebody buys my 1976 Corvette Stingray. It's a little bit bittersweet, mainly today. It's a little bit bittersweet having to sell that car because I got it from my father. And he's gone. He went to the store. No, I'm kidding. He's gone. But so it's a little bit bittersweet selling it, but it's really the only thing that I have of like large value that I can afford to get rid of. So Tony Ryan said, I bought this cute little STL of a yarn ball container that was on my mini factory. I enlarged it to 150%. So it will take 48 hours to print, my longest print so far. Now just wait a D minute. What? Yes, I have a 1976 Corvette Stingray that I have had tucked away. It's a 45-year-old car. It needs new rear wheel bearings put into it, but it starts and runs, but it needs a new home so I can afford to fix my truck. I'm still discombobulated. My apologies. Anybody that follows, what's that?
I'll have to use some of that money to get you some Johnsons and Johnsons, no more tears.
Yeah. Well, I held it back. I didn't let them come out.
Oh, that floppy drive spun up. It says floppy drive failed, so that's not good. You know what?
Could be the disk.
No, the BIOS reported it. I think I thought it was a 1.2 megabyte high density drive, and I think it might only be a 360 kilobyte dual density or whatever.
It is Fun King Yellow, actually. Sounds like you should sell the truck to fix the Stingray. Unfortunately, the Stingray is... Glenn, do you need a hug? Every day of my life, man. Unfortunately, the truck is a necessity, and the Corvette is not. Plus, my family doesn't really truly enjoy it because we can't all fit in there, and the kids hate when you stuff them into the luggage compartment.
Into the boot?
Into the boot? No, there's no boot on that car.
Oh, it's in the front?
There's no trunk on it at all.
Oh.
There's like right behind the rear seats, there's a stowage area, like where the T-tops can go and stuff, but there's no trunk on the back. All right, listen, I'm going to share this link because I think that this is a link that should be shared. Please do not friend me on Facebook. I will not accept it. Not because I don't like you, but because I hate Facebook.
And friends.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? I think I would rather give you guys the link to Vet Finder because I really hate Facebook. I truly believe I could write a book on how to and how not to sell stuff on Facebook because the world's full of idiots. Give me just a moment and I will pull up. Yeah, I have like, I don't know, 400 friend requests on Facebook that I've never accepted just because I hate Facebook so much and sends the link to all the spam sites. I can tell some great stories too. I mean, I've only had it listed now. Like I had it listed before, like, a while back and never sold it. But a guy emailed me or messaged me last night and said 7,000 cash. Okay, first of all, I'm not a car lot. I only accept cash. So why would you even put that like there was a different option, $7,000 in magic beans? I mean, it can only be cash. And then to offer me $7,000 on a car that I'm asking $12,900 for, a little jerky. So I wrote him back a message and said 15,000 cash.
Racked him.
I was hoping he would respond, and then I could, respond with something like, well, that's more than you're asking or whatever. So I could say, oh, so you do know how much I'm asking.
Just respond with, F, give your bees a tug.
My dad said guys with big trucks have little dinks, and that makes sense because you want a big truck and you have a little dink. $7,001 in filament. No trades. It's got to be trade for cash. Trade for cash. So there's the link to the Vet Finders ad. Please let me know if that doesn't come up. And I had to change it from or best offer to firm because people were giving me just ridiculous offers. I don't think they understand the word best. God, you guys, I'm flustered. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. This definitely tops. This has to be the top financial stream ever. I mean, that we've ever done. I'm sure other people have done better, but you guys are amazing.
So this is awesome. The floppy drive works.
The floppy drive works?
Yeah, it only supports 360 kilobyte disks, but here's the thing: the computer that I got this to target specifically only has those drives in it, anyways. I wanted the 1.2 meg high density one so I could do both. But if I it's an extra step to take. But if I ever get a computer that requires only those disks, it'll also read these smaller ones. So
yeah,
I can always put a disk in, format it on that, or make a boot disk off here, boot it up. And then format another system disk onto one of those larger disks. You know what I'm saying?
Tony Ryan said that's a horrible photo if you're trying to sell that car. You need to have it out of focus and parked behind a bush. Yeah, and only show just close up on the fender. I did have a guy reach out to me and start asking me questions, and then he asked me if I had any pictures of the motor. And I said, yeah, I can upload a few more pictures of the motor and let you know. And plus I sent him a link to the Vet Finders ad. And he wrote me back and he said, no good or not good. I can't remember which. And so I wrote him back. I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, wrong angle. And I'm like, well, what are you looking to see? And I'll take a picture of whatever that is. It's like photos are free. I can snap all those I want, And he's like, never mind, no big deal. So I don't know if he was trying to fix his own and was trying to see how mine was put together. I don't know what was going on. Incendium87 said, that's a nice looking car. Thank you. And it really is. It is gorgeous. It is original. That's the original paint. The rear driver's side quarter was repainted due to nasty fade, but otherwise it's all original paint. It's been inside more than it's ever been outside. It needs some things, like a lot of the rubber bushings and stuff are starting to show their 45-year age. And like my ad says, it does need rear wheel bearings, which I can have done locally for $500 plus whatever it takes to remove them and put them back on. But I don't really have the time to work on it. I just need it to go to a new home so that money can go towards fixing my daily driver.
Mark,
Not that I really go anywhere, but it sucks not having a pickup truck. Mark asked 3.5 or 5 1/4. Those are 5 1/4. I'm going to open this now. I almost feel like I need a nap after all that.
My actual whole goal here is to get the iOmega zip disk driver onto it, because then the computer that I've got has a parallel port, so I can connect this zip disk, and then I can put 100 megs onto it at a time. I have multiple machines with the zip disk now, and I have another IDE zip disk drive. So.
Yeah, I don't have any external. I have 2, but they're both IDE, and then I have a. I have to think about the name of the company, but it's an Easy 135 drive, which is actually it's a hard disk inside of a plastic case that you put in. I can't remember who made it. Off to look. So, but
it's so weird to boot up a Windows 98 machine and have it auto detect your 27-inch monitor and get the model number and everything correct for it. Of course, it also thinks it's December of 1998. So.
Oh, it is. Clint said, I wish it wasn't so damn expensive to ship it to me. Hack Monkey is here. Hello, Scott. David said, about time. And Tony Ryan said, you could get one of those mod kits and convert that vet into a pickup. Well, I won't say publicly that I did actually bring my microwave home from Best Buy on that luggage rack. I have pictures of that somewhere, too. Hey, this box has filament in it. Smells like a cardboard box, though. Oh, not more green, Dave. Gosh. This letter is really the only reason I keep going with this subscription box.
He puts letters in all of them, right? It's not specifically just for you.
No, I know that, but it's the only way I can get the letter.
Oh, do you know what I've been working on? And I'm not the first person to do this. It's not, but I've been working on a 3D printable ATX case. So I cut off the rear panel to make sure that everything, when you screw the motherboard into the pegs, that the I/O ports line up on the back.
Well, that's cool.
Rather than printing out the whole case to find out that the measurements are slightly off.
Right, throwing caution in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Scott. The Easy 135 was from SideQuest, 3.5-inch version, follow up to the 5 1/4, 40 and 80. Yep. That's it. And it was so funny because at the point I bought it, like a buddy of mine and I were talking about, do we buy iOmega or do we buy the SideQuest drive? And we were like, well, the SideQuest drive's bigger. So that's the technology that's going to catch on, and it didn't. Everybody went iOmega. So that looks like a red to me. It is. That is Jesse PLA PS Red. And this looks like a green to me. That's all Dave does is just green. This is mixtape number 6. Oh, I hope everybody is sitting down, and I hope you have a seatbelt on, because here we go.
What do you think?
I don't know, Dave. I think Dave writes these letters knowing that I'm going to read them out loud.
What do you think the chances of a Windows 98 machine being able to read a USB floppy drive are?
It should pick up a USB floppy just fine. That's the glorious part about USB.
Well, but you got to remember, Windows 98, it was in its infancy.
Oh, yeah. It's when plug and play was in its infancy.
It does not work. Comes up as unknown device.
It's an unknown device. Well, yeah, you need drivers. I always said, why couldn't they put a driver in the device?
Just have a little flash memory in it that's the size of the driver.
Put it in, boom, loads it up. But I suppose that could be used for mischievous purposes too.
You accidentally hacked yourself the other day.
Accidentally gave everybody access to my only 98 version B will read USB.
So it picked up the USB. It is second edition, but it doesn't pick it up as a mass storage device. So I would have to go hunting for the proper driver, assuming one even exists for it, which probably not, because I think this was made in the 2010s. You gotta compose yourself, buddy.
All right, we're gonna figure this out because this could go. Oh, I read it wrong. All right, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this the wrong way first because it was way funnier. So bear with me here for just a second. It starts out with spool number 1, mixtape number 6, which is the green. Which I don't know if you guys can see. It's kind of like a pea green, maybe. Like not quite olive drab, but. So the way I read this was, so back in the 20s, David proposed to this girl. And I thought at first, well, is that the 1920s or the 2020s? But what it actually says is, so back in his 20s. David proposed to this girl with a ring and everything, and she broke his heart. This month, he wanted a color to represent that memory. Here is a mixture of silver and neon green. The silver represents the fact that the ring wasn't really gold. Just a cheap gold plating. The neon green represents the inevitable color her finger turned when she left. Also, since it has an additive to glow under black light. Ooh, I don't think I have one of those. It has a strong smell to tell how much it all stinked at the time. Was that a little too dark and depressing for you? Oh, the truth is Dave accidentally put the wrong colors in the hopper one day because he was distracted and it came out like this. Like Bob Ross always says, happy little accidents. David was not always the brilliant and funny and generally all around amazing, lovable guy you all have come to know and love. He was sort of awkward back in his youth and in college and in his 20s and in his 30s and in his early 40s. But he has high hopes. He nails it for the later half of his 40s. Thankfully, this month is David's birthday month, and he will begin the second half of his 40s. And time will tell if he got it all right or if it will end up in one giant fireball crashing to the earth, destroying all life as we'll know it. Sorry, there's a seam right through the that pink does stink. Why did I read that out loud? Oh, that was pretty good, Dave. Spool number 2 is PS Red PLA. It's funny because I was just gonna make a joke about what does PS stand for, and then it says right here, what does PS in PS Red stand for? We may never know. It is truly one of those secrets lost to the sands of time. Legend tells that back during the 4th Egyptian dynasty, the king Sneferu?
Snoop Dogg?
Sneferu? Nefuru? I don't know. Was developing the first 3D printer. Sadly, though, the slicing programs of the time were extremely limited on the shapes that they could process. So So as he was trying to calibrate his 3D printing process, he could not even slice a simple calibration cube. He then had the idea that he could make calibration pyramids, which would require far less processing than a cube to slice. This is why all over Egypt you will find pyramids everywhere, because King Snufru considered all of Egypt his own personal makerspace. And like many of us, he just didn't like keeping things clean and tidy. This led to him leaving all those various calibration pyramids all over the land. Stay tuned for even more in the future and let us know what you think. Oh, nice job, Dave. Nice job. Whew.
It sounds like Killian's up and about again.
It's a very interesting color. I mean, I can fire up the detail camera, but I don't know if it's going to do any justice. Color on this camera isn't great. With a little. Oh, I don't know what that was. Oh, my flashlight's dead. But yeah, it's pretty good. And then of course, Photoshop red. Is that what the PS is? Photoshop. Pink stinks. Oh. Yes, Bob, you absolutely broke me. I might cry myself to sleep tonight on my pillow, but they will be tears of joy. Green silver mix. That's it does almost have a little like not a metallic-y, but a sheen to it.
Charlie Sheen?
Winning!
And then they dropped a piano on the end. Did you ever see that?
Yes. I watched that whole entire series. It was on, they played it, I don't know what channel, but they played it in order, like 2 episodes a night, right at the point where I was going to sleep. So I got to watch 2 episodes every night, to watch the whole entire series. Martin Sheen.
It has been a long time since so here's the thing. I'm doing all the stuff that I'm doing right now is inadvisable. I have a Windows 98 machine that I'm trying to get onto my network.
Oh, that's a good plan, yeah.
Yeah. So that I can then copy files across the network to
Why,
it.
you don't have a thumb drive?
Well, the thing is, it doesn't have the mass storage driver installed.
Oh, it doesn't have any mass storage driver.
There are safer ways for me to do what I'm doing, but, you know, you only like oranges, as the kids say. James, please hit the reset.
I think he's telling you to fix me.
Oh.
Ah.
I just enabled printer sharing, even though this will never have a printer connected to it. So let's go ahead and disable that.
Printer
Now,
sharing.
it's probably going to ask for the Windows 98 CD. And we'll find out whoever installed Windows 98 on this copied the cap files to the hard drive.
Well, that was very nice.
That was my favorite way to do it.
I had we had a ghost image, a ghost disk image that, like, we went through, installed Windows 98, and then, you know, we used just a key, whatever key, got it all set up.
Key, right?
What's that?
Remove the key at the end?
Yeah, because we used, like, we built a lot of the same machine.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we had it all set up for that machine, and then we just deleted the key out of the registry so that as soon as you'd boot it onto a new machine, it would ask you for the key for that machine.
I worked for a place at one point that had a generic key for Windows 95 and a generic key for Windows 98. And they just left the generic key in there because there was no online activation at that point.
Right.
But it was always they always sold the computer with the license and the book and the, you know, Windows 98 had a sticker on it, but Windows 95 was, and well, the original version of Windows 98 and 95 was just a book with an OEM number.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, I don't know if they would have gotten in trouble with it per se, as long as they could prove that every computer that had gone out with that on it had a proper license. Because I know that, I think Dell at one point was doing the same thing where, like, the key you got on the computer didn't match the key on the license they sold you. And the key was basically in case you had to reinstall.
Right. Chris Elton asks, do you keep a printer loaded with a large nozzle, 0.8 or 1 millimeter, etc.? I have a 0.8 millimeter. I have a 0.6 and a 0.8 that I bought for the FK1. And attempted, do I have that in here? No, I really got to get the rest of my stuff in here. It's in my storage bins out in the garage. I attempted to print a benchy with the 0.8, and it was going horribly wrong. And then that's when I realized that I really had no business printing with a 0.8 nozzle until I knew the printer was right. So, but I do have a 0.8. I don't keep one loaded just because I don't know. I'm generally not in a hurry to print whatever I'm printing, and I would rather have tighter print lines. I don't know.
I messed myself over. I guess they were using Novell as their login client, but it was authenticated to a domain, so I switched it to the Windows login. And now it's coming up with the domain request, and usually with Windows 98, you can just tap escape on the login screen and it logs in anyways. Except for since it was on a domain, it's now saying you must be authenticated to the domain before you can log in. But before that, I was able to just escape out of the Novell one. Oh man, this is a computer that was salvage.
Yeah.
They junked it, and I got a hold of it, and all of the guy's data is still on it.
Wow.
He worked for the government. I'm gonna give it some F8 action here at the startup and see if I can get in safe mode and change that login.
Tony Ryan asks, what size nozzle is on the FK1? Currently, it is a 0.4. Because I like the abuse. No, it's 0.4 because that's generally what I print with on all of my printers. So I was already comfortable with printing with a 0.4 nozzle. So that's why it ended up at a 0.4. But David said fat print lines are beautiful.
I just realized over my shoulder here, you can see the Windows 98 logo.
Yeah, you can. We're going to see your login.
Yeah, you're going to see his login.
But I do have that 0.6 and 0.8 that I will slide back in there at some point for doing, because when I was before I was outdone before I ever did it, when I was planning on doing the 1001% benchy, to do it at 0.4 was going to take forever, and that's really the reason I bought the 0.8. But Ollie said I just bought 2 more 0.4 nozzle X to replace the 0.8 and 0.25 that I've installed on my tool changer. I've never done anything super small like that. In fact, 0.4 is the smallest nozzle I've ever used.
It's kind of ridiculous how insecure Windows 98 is as an operating system, even for the stuff that they could have prevented back in the day. I have now booted up into safe mode, which does not require login.
Right.
And I'm just going to switch it to Windows login.
Right.
And we'll go ahead and tap OK. It's going to come up and say, hey, I need to restart for that to happen. And if I'm correct, because again, it has been a number of years since this was relevant data to me. When it comes back up, I'm going to be able to just tap escape on the password screen, and it's going to let me in anyways. In fact, I'm going to turn the camera around if I can angle it properly. I got to move the. Sorry.
Oh, motion sickness. God, I haven't seen that screen in so long. Yeah, I used to know our in-shop Windows 98 key by heart. We entered it so much.
I still have mine memorized. I forgot the Windows XP one, but I have Windows 95 and Windows 98 memorized.
David said the government files that guy has on me were all acquitted by the Supreme Court back in 2002.
Why did you have government files about you in Canada? And by the Ministry of Natural Resources.
It's always the Canadians that are after us U.S. people.
Also, completely random situation. I was looking for one of those original original Microsoft, like the curved mice, the beige ones.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up ordering one off eBay, and it showed up. And less than a week later, a buddy of mine dropped off a bunch of old stuff, and guess what was in there?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that I have one, and I think I have one like right here.
So now I've got 2 PS2 ones and a serial one. Also, hopefully in the next week or two, I'm actually going to be able to give a tour during the live stream of my basement, because it's actually clean and organized now.
Yeah, I don't know what I did with it now.
I've got a Commodore 64 with a severely yellowed case. Sorry, the monitor with a severely yellowed case over there. Oh. Okay. It's asking me for a password. Here's my password. I'm going to put in Chunky Banana. That wasn't my password. Oh. Oh, well. I'll just hit escape then. Okay.
Yeah, but I think the difference is that doesn't give you access to the network.
Well, I guess we'll find out because I'm going to try and access my network. I think it does. I think anything that's domain locked down, it won't give you access to. But it gives you access to the local files, and that was people that didn't buy this to have it network attached. No, I've got a username and password, so nobody can get into my account, and it would automatically just go into the default account if you hit escape.
Yeah. David said he can't tell you it's classified.
Oh, I see.
Ollie said it's gonna be nice to have 0.4 millimeter on all 4 tools. Yeah, I mean different things. I mean, like if you printed, like a lot, like half of what you printed was needed a 0.6 and half of what you printed was a 0.4, I could see having 2 different nozzle sizes on a tool changer. Otherwise, like I would think that you'd want the same size nozzle on all of them. Well, I guess for support material, you could use a 0.6 or something for support material, except for you'd still have to do the same height and layer lines. Yeah, what do I know? I don't even own a tool changer. I mean, it could be like this or like that. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, so it can't access my network because the computer's too old. It can't actually talk to the server. So my backup thing is to just go into a random folder here. We're going to do an Alt-Enter on that to get to the properties. I'm going to tab up to sharing, and I'm going to share it. And I'm going to go full, and I'm not even going to bother to put a password on it, because if somebody somehow manages to get through my network and get to this machine and wants to mess around with it, then you go nuts.
Zendium87 says larger nozzle for infill. I suppose you could, but again, you'd have to do same layer height. Is that correct? I mean, I guess I don't know if the slicer would be smart enough to figure that out.
Seems like 64 megs of RAM.
You could end up with a wider infill then, but it's still going to be whatever your same layer height is. But I could definitely see, multiple nozzles, a 4-head or a 6-head tool changer with, 6 different colors, and using it like a palette. Yeah, Ollie said, yeah, it kind of works to print with different sizes in the same print as long as the same layer height. How does the slicer handle that? Like, do you have to tell the slicer? Yeah, you'd have to tell the slicer which like what head had what. I think Prusa slicer can be set to do infill every other layer or something, but it would still I think print at the same. Say you're printing at a 0.2 layer height. I think that even if you skip every other one, it's still printing at a 0.2 layer height. Why would you want that option to skip every other layer for infill? Would that cause your print to be less strong?
I thought oh, you know what? I'm going to not talk because I don't know why I thought what I thought.
Well, this is how we learn different things. I mean, I've never played with a tool changer. Unfortunately, those were coming out like at the point that I was already in the process of building the FK1. So there was no switching gears at that point. And honestly, I really don't have a need for another 3D printer. David said most strength is in the shell. Yeah, I suppose it depends on what it is. I always think about the more practical prints, the brackets and stuff that I've made for in the garage and on the printer and stuff. I mean, I have a piece that was it wasn't a fail. It was I ran out of filament, and this was as far as it got. This is a piece for the MP CNC machine with a 40% infill with my typical perimeters, and it's pretty darn strong. I want to run it over with a car. Every other works when you just need the infill to hold up a top shell. Okay, that makes sense. Some slicers allow you to set a lower layer height for perimeter, and then they do the infill with more material, but only every other. Huh, interesting. That is definitely a setting I've never played with. And hello, Scott. And he said, with the size of the FK1, could you not convert it to a tool changer? I could. The problem is, to change it into a tool changer, I'm going to end up losing some of its capacity because I can't make it. The way it's built, the carriage cannot go off of the printer, and I built it that size to fit where I needed it to fit. So, but it could be converted to a tool changer. I just don't think I want to. I don't know if I have enough of a need for that. So. Multicolor, I do have a palette mosaic, mosaic palette, which I actually obtained because I got it from Mitch 3D, because I wanted to be able to run multiple rolls of the same filament in to continue for long prints, so I don't have to get up in the middle of the night and change the filaments.
Oh, it's been a while since I did your networking Windows 98.
It's been a long time since I've done anything in Windows 98.
I'm trying to remember. I know that there's something you have to do to get it to be able to view other computers on the network.
I'm gonna have to play with that setting, Scott. He said some slicers allow you to set a lower layer height for perimeters, and then they do the infill with more material, but only every other layer. Interesting. I want to play with that. I don't know. I have all my profile. I've had all of these profiles for years now, and pretty much. And again, I have one printer that I print all my PLA on, one printer I print all my Petg on, one printer that I don't ever use because it has a laser head on it now and it just sits there. And then this guy, which I'm trying to work through its issues because I want to be able to print some bigger things without having to go to the big boy. And again, the next stream that we do, whenever it may be, I will make sure that by then I have moved that FK1 over here. It's kind of a logistical nightmare because I want you to be able to see this beauty right here without that thing blocking me, but I also need to be able to access that thing to get everything set up. And really, all I got to do is re-level it and run a print. So it's not that I'm going to be working on it. We just need to. I haven't touched it in a while, so I have to go through and remember how to do it, and then we're gonna run some PETG through that thing and see how it handles it. Combine infill every X layer. I have to look into that. Thank you all for bringing that stuff up. That's interesting. Definitely want to. Yeah, I know. I got that. Yeah, definitely want to look into that just to see, because I do want to do like stupidly large prints on the FK1, but I don't want them to take 14 days. So anything that I can do to cut down on print time. And I know, bigger
Just
nozzle.
print things.
What's that?
Just print really small things. Cuts down on all the print time.
I said I want to print bigger things. It's hard to print bigger things when you're printing littler things.
Well, then I cannot help you.
Story of my life.
Oh, is it going to do something? There we go. I don't know if I should be happy or horrified that that worked. Do you know what I did?
You just gave away your IP address.
Well, it's an internal IP address, and it's also not going to be there in a week because this is my old file server.
We know that you're on the 10.0.0 network.
Oh, well.
What did you do?
So, remember how you said, oh, if you don't log in, it doesn't give you access to network stuff?
Right.
I was like, maybe that is the way it works. Maybe that's the part I'm missing. So, I hit escape, went in, and I just created myself a user on the computer, and then logged in as that user. Now I can access the network.
There you go.
What was your password? No password.
I'm not going to say who it was. Not too long ago, I built a new computer for somebody. Nobody in this house. And when I had this person's computer here and I was setting it up, I didn't have access to them at the time. So when it came time to pick a Windows password, as a joke, I set it to password. So this was actually about a year ago, I think now. Guess what that password is still set to?
Password?
Password. I'm like, that is terrible. Is PETG going to overtake PLA? It's becoming very cheap. I don't ever see it like one overtaking the other one. I think PLA was always more popular than PETG because it was so much easier to print PLA. With PETG formulas the way they are now, they're getting easier to print, but they're definitely two different animals. PETG's got more of a flex to it, super durable, but definitely more giving, as where PLA is more rigid. So if you don't need something to have that, indestructible strength, not that PETG is indestructible, but like if you need to print something thinner but rigid, then PLA is a really good way to go. I like PETG for everything. PLA is still stronger. It's just brittle. Doesn't that technically make it not stronger? Did you at least change the 2SS to 5.5? That's a total hacker move. In password, no, I straight up wrote the word password.
I just know what my focus is doing. Let me fix that. I apologize.
But like little stuff like this. This is PETG. This is just a little corner bracket for the rep box, and in PETG, definitely plenty durable enough in this. But like some of the parts on the FK1 that are large and flat, they definitely give a lot more. There's a lot more flex to them. And PLA would have been more rigid for that piece, but stood more of a chance to crack because it's brittle. So PETG just seems to take a bit more heat. Are there major differences that still keep newbies away? Well, yeah, more bed heat and a higher nozzle heat, but pretty much every printer that's coming out today is plenty warm enough to take it. Like they'll go up. Spoiler. Maze Maker box, which now I don't know where I put it. Oh, Maze Maker box video coming out tomorrow. There is a filament in here. Well, there's a ABS in here that's an amazing purple. But which one was it? Oh, okay. This one is by Push Plastics. This is a PEI 9085. The hot end temperature is 350 degrees Celsius. So, I know that's not PETG, but PETG is easy now compared to some of these other engineering filaments. PETG is annoying to print. Only if you're trying to print it on a bad printer. No, that's not true.
I'm terrible with PETG.
Yeah, James has a heck of a time with PETG. Never listens to me when I tell him what to do. No, that's not true.
Well, it's because you keep telling me to stop 3D printing and go do something else.
Yeah, I'm like, just give up the whole thing, man. Just get out of the hobby.
Like story for me, I was having issues printing. Now, that being said, I had a very long run where I was printing PPE for places around here. I printed thousands of visors, all in PETG on all of my printers. So I had a long stretch where I wasn't having problems, but the printers I had that was running here, I was having so much problem printing PETG. I turned around and bought a Prusa Mark III, same setup as well, not quite the same setup as, but the more current but same setup as Glenn.
Close enough, right? And
first PETG print was perfect, and then nothing else would stick. And Glenn and I spent a day where he's just like, do this, this is what I do. And then finally, at the end of it, stuff still wouldn't stick. And I said to him, like, well, how often do you have to do this stuff? And he goes, I feel a little guilty saying it to you, but I don't think I've done it in months. Like you said, it basically just always works for you.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm a knock on wood so that I'm not cursed, but I can like that printer just sits. In fact, I don't even ever turn it off. It just sits like this. And when I'm ready to print, I just go push print.
Yeah.
And it just does it. And of course, I don't run anything on it but PETG. And always the same brand too. So that might have a lot to do with it.
Like I'm beginning to wonder if it's environmental for me. Like maybe it's just the temperature variances and stuff in the basement cause issues.
Could be. Yeah, humidity. There's a lot of things that could. But and then like the AM8, I hadn't used the AM8 in probably a year. I hadn't printed anything on that. And Sean asked me to print something in PLA, and I'm like, okay, push the button, and it started printing. In fairness, I did wipe the bed off on that one with some isopropyl alcohol. That's just regular cheap PEI sheet on there. Something I bought off of Amazon. And then this one is the textured PEI, but I don't have those issues.
Oh, I was so close. Not ready reading Drive A. It read the disk, then I went to copy files to it, and it was like, actually, no.
Tom Lama said, I never truly get a good PETG print. I do better with ABS and even PC. And out of curiosity, now I'm not trying to diagnose your problem. It is what it is. But like what printer and what hot end? I'm just curious if that really affects it. So, and then Chris said, I always have to use glue stick if I want large prints to stick, PLA and PETG. Bare PEI or glass don't work for anything big. I don't print on glass. I had glass on the AM8 for a while, but I hate the shiny. I don't like the shiny bottom that it leaves. The PEI, I scuff the PEI so that it gives it at least a little bit of a hazy. That's just a personal thing. That's not. But I have never, ever used glue stick. Ever. I don't I don't use hairspray. The lady at the store will look at me funny when I'm buying it. I don't put anything on the bed. I used Magic Goo for a while and then realized I didn't really need it. It was really just a matter of getting the nozzle height dialed in. But my profiles for my printer, usually the profiles by default are set. If you're printing at a 0.2 layer height, your first layer will be like 0.1 or 0.3. I can't remember which way it goes. I print all of them the same. If it's a 0.2 layer height, my first layer is 0.2. And I set the nozzle over the bed, the thickness of a sheet of paper. So Glenn likes fuzzy bottom over a sunny one. I do. Chris said use scuffed PEI. Yeah, I got a 4/0 steel wool. What do they call it? 4/0 quad-aught, whatever. Double O. I don't know. It's a 0000 steel wool, and I just give it a once over just to take the shine off of it. So
Okay, so this entire process has been leading up to this moment. I now have a 5 1/4 floppy that has the iOmega drivers loaded onto it. We have 24 minutes left, so my plan now is to unhook this computer, drag over the other one that I actually want to work with. And with any luck, I can put this disk in, load the iOmega zip disk stuff, and then put stuff larger than 360 kilobytes on it.
nice.
So
Mark said painter's tape and glue stick for large prints here. I used to print on painter's tape. On what? Oh, I did on FK1 before Printed Solid was awesome and sent me that huge sheet of PEI. But I did used to use printer's tape on the AM8 when it had the original bed, and I can't even remember what the material was on it, but it was awful. And again, this was just like a cheap $14 sheet of PEI that I bought off of Amazon a bazillion years ago, and it's been doing fine. Now I treat it very good. I don't dig at it with tools to get my prints off. I hate to say this publicly. Your mileage may vary. Don't do as I do. Blah blah blah. But I take the edge of a safety razor and I work it under the corner of the print, not with my hand on this side. Just work it under just enough to where I can get my build tack tool, my build tack spatula, up underneath the razor blade, and then I can get the print off. But I also don't pop it off when it's burning hot either. So scuff that PEI. I print PETG straight on scuff PEI, never shiny PEI. No, and when I used to print PETG on the AMA, which I actually still do that occasionally, but I use, and it's not sitting here, I use Mcguire's window cleaner. Let me get it. Not a sponsor.
I was gonna say,
I love the way this stuff smells too. It's a great smelling window cleaner. This is it's an automotive window cleaner, glass cleaner.
I was going to say, because who would sponsor us? But obviously, very awesome people would sponsor us.
Yeah, the people that are important. But yeah, this is Mcguire's, and it's perfect clarity glass. I don't know. You can buy it at an auto parts store, or maybe a Walmart. I don't know. But
I got to ask, have you been watching?
Yes, I was waiting for you to pick it up.
I picked it up the first time you said it, but you continued to talk and didn't give me a chance to comment. So the right way to you know what I should have done? I should have started playing off. I should have been like, the right way to do this would be to set up the USB mass storage driver on this Windows 98 machine and not connect it to my network. So I'm going to go ahead and not do that.
Yeah. It's going to need some parts, so we're just going to pretend like we didn't see that.
Yeah.
But no, I use this. I use the Mcguire's to wipe the PEI down. And then the PETG still sticks, but it doesn't overstick. Like I've never had it bond to the PEI and not be able to peel it off. So again, your mileage may vary. Different window cleaner. This happens to be the one that I use. So Ollie said I use magic. I probably missed stuff, and I'll try to fill back in. But Ollie said I use magic glue on my glass bed. Never got it to stick properly without it. I was not a fan of glass. I used glass. Oh, that's what it was. Tom, why didn't you say something? It was Taser face, because that bed was shaped like a ball. So I ended up shimming up the middle of it with a couple of sheets of paper and putting a mirror on that thing. And but I don't like glass, so I printed. I put painter's tape on that, but that gets expensive because that stuff tears up. And then I have this. I bought this for the A8, the AM8. This is a Anycubic Ultra Base. You guys familiar with Ultra Base? And I might be willing to part with this if somebody had a use for it and wanted to pay shipping. It's never been used. In fact, the backing is still on it, but it's got the. Can you hear that? It's got like little nubs. I don't know. These are supposed to be really good, but I put that PEI sheet on there and I never looked back. I mean, if I needed another PEI sheet, I would hop on printedsolid.com and order me one up.
I was gonna say not a sponsor, but definitely a sponsor. I'm being hindered by the fact that I can't find my DOS 3.0 boot disk.
Has anyone tried printing on frosted glass? I don't know if I've ever seen anybody try that. I wonder if you just took a piece of glass and ran it through a sandblaster, a glass beading cabinet, and hazed it out. I would think that would grab pretty good and do a nice texture. Yeah, I might have to play with that. I'm going to write myself a note. I give that like a 37.8% chance of working.
I love that whenever you get a hold of something, and I've been telling you to watch that guy for a while now.
Okay, so full disclosure, I did watch that guy a while ago.
Okay, so I just reminded you of this.
No, but whatever video that I watched of his, I couldn't stand it. I don't even remember what video it was, but there was something about it that I just didn't like it. And then it had come across my feed. I think I've only been watching him now for a week or maybe a little more.
And you've watched basically everything he has that's good.
No, not yet, but I'm well into it, yeah. But I don't know. I watched something and I'm like, oh, this guy's got a really good sense of humor. It's like you can tell he knows what he's doing. Like he knows mechanics of a car, but then the fact that he calls everything, like the lightning whirler and the energy block, and it's just funny.
And the lightning cables.
Yeah, lightning cables. Well, and then the one he did one where he bought a Corvette sight unseen in Tennessee, immediately signed up for a burnout contest in Florida with it.
Yep.
And then he was down here in Brooksville, which is about 30 minutes from me, and was working on it and stuff. But like he's in the garage and he's working on it. He's like, "Whoa, it's hotter than the '90s Britney Spears in here."
Oh man.
And then he goes to get the fan bolts out and he goes, "God, those are tighter than J-Lo's halftime show pants." Frosted glass.
Oh no.
Bed. So I have some 1 foot by 1 foot pieces of mirror, and I will absolutely put that in the glass beading cabinet and sandblast it and try it. I'm game.
The eject mechanism on this old computer doesn't always work so well. It's the
Pumpkin King.
This computer is called the Morrow Pivot. If anybody wants to look it up, if anybody cares.
Tom said, honestly, the issue I was likely having was it was as much the bed smooth rods were bent. Yeah, but that bed was bowl shaped. Any cubic ultra base is the best textured glass out there. Crealities and FL Sun's textured glass suck. Paul Cumber asks how the wife's doing. I don't know whose wife he's talking about, but mine's doing good.
Oh, probably because we talked about Kay not feeling well at the beginning of the stream. I heard her come downstairs about 10, 15 minutes ago, so I think she's feeling a little bit better at least.
PETG would probably weld straight to frosted glass. Well, we will find out. I would be willing to sacrifice a piece of glass.
So I don't think I'm going to be able to get an angle on this. It's going to be viewable because this is what was widely known as a lunchbox computer because it looks like a lunchbox.
Yeah.
The keyboard folds down, and it's got a backlit LCD screen.
I think you can frost glass like that. Yeah, I used to do glass etching, like decorative glass etching, which is pretty much the same thing. It's just a much smaller sandblaster. And I have plenty of safety equipment. I mean, if I put it in the bead blasting cabinet and it explodes, all I'm out is my time. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be a fun experiment. I won't have a chance to work on it this week, but maybe by next week I can, because I'll be traveling this week. So yeah, still using the bed to this day. Bent it over my knee to straighten it. It works really well, actually. I don't know. I tried to systematically bend it back straight, but
Okay. Well, now I'm going to see if my newly written floppy is readable on this computer.
all right, you got 13 minutes, man.
I'll have it in 3.
I am super stoked that we had so many people in watching today, being that it's Father's Day and people should be out to dinner. We don't typically celebrate the holiday on the holiday because places are busy and I don't like crowds, if I haven't said that enough already. So like my wife and I don't go out on Valentine's Day. We'll go out either before or a week after. It just works out better that way.
Okay,
So,
read the disk. So now I have to see if I can connect the zip disk drive to it.
26 watching, 18 thumbs up. Thank you to those 18 people. We appreciate thumbs up. You could leave a comment once in a while, though. I mean, gosh.
And call your mother. She misses you. Okay, so somewhere down here, there's a 25-pin serial and a 25-pin parallel port. Right there. And a built-in modem.
Nice.
And an expansion card that, as far as I know, nothing was ever released for. These guys got kind of screwed over because this was made by a company called Moro, and it's called the Pivot. And Zenith wanted to produce a version of it. And then rather than charging them a per-unit license, they charged them like $300 to license the entire thing and produce as many as they want. And Zenith ended up becoming the de facto standard, and these guys went out of business.
That sounds about right. Tony Ryan said, I even liked the stream. So either that means he clicked the thumbs up or he actually liked it.
I think the former is more likely than the latter.
Oh.
Okay, so I just need to power up the zip disk and then see if loading the driver works. There is a big question mark, though, because I thought this was an MS-DOS disk, and it's a PC-DOS disk, the old IBM PC-DOS. So I don't remember what the compatibility is like between them for stuff like this. I give it about a 12.7% chance of working.
It's like 20 or 30. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's also funny because I'm from Minnesota, so that guy's accent, takes me back.
Is that why you guys call pop soda? Because you're from Minnesota?
I don't call pop soda. I call it pop.
Oh.
Soda is a southern thing.
Oh, there's no power.
My kids make fun of me because I call it pop.
Do they call you Pops?
No, they call me like worse things that I can't say on here because it's family friendly.
Okay. Can I drop this down further, maybe? A little. You can kind of... Yeah, you can see that says volume A something pterodactyl, It's pretty good. Let's say guest. Be our guest. Be our guest. Oh.
Tom said, I call it soda.
Check it out. Finding a drive letter for your iOmega drive.
Sweet.
Is it going to work? Because it stopped doing stuff.
And he says pop over there too.
Oh,
Well, what's funny is it's soda pop, and it just depends on which way you clipped it short.
do you remember when Nintendo released the game Punch-Out in the arcades, and the
Yep.
character name was Vodka Drinkinski, and they changed it to Soda Popinski for the NES release, so it was more friendly? So I might have to go looking for a better boot disc for this, because it just seems like it's hanging there.
All right. I don't think that I missed anybody in this, and if I did, I apologize. But I just wanted to put up a new banner and thank everybody today that threw down any type of dollarinos. And if I missed you, I feel like a jerk, and you gotta tell me. I'm old and short memoried, but I also have Streamlabs over here that kind of helps me to remember things. But you guys are you're just amazing. I don't know.
We're not worthy.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. I got $5,000. I got.
What's that from?
Wayne's World.
I got $5,000.
Wayne's World, yeah, they got $5,000 for their syndication of their TV show. You're muted. I don't know if you did that purposely. I take that as a nope. Okay, well, I guess you guys have to listen to me talk for the rest of the day. Good thing it's at the end of the day.
I'm here to save you. I mean them, not you.
Oh, there you are.
Save them from you. So now the question is, I've got 7 minutes left. I have a box over there that has a bunch of different boot discs in it. I think, like, I'm guessing it's a boot disc issue because I don't think this was written for, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. I'm going to stick a zip disk in it and see what happens. Maybe it's just like, oh, I need to see the actual zip disk before I can do anything. The volume in drive A has O label. I don't think it's working properly. Let's go ahead and just do this the wrong way. I will be back in a second. I just have to go get yet another box of discs.
Oh. And again, I'm alone. Tom Lama says, I want my $2. $2 for what?
Okay.
So I was totally under. Let's see, how do I want to phrase this? I thought Murph was this weekend. Like, I completely thought that Murph was this weekend, and apparently other people did too.
Because you told them that.
Oh, because it came from me?
Yeah.
No, people. Well, if that's true, then people are watching us that I didn't know that they were watching us. Because it's people that I generally don't communicate with. But either which way, I guess Murph is not until next weekend. Which is great. I'm off next weekend. But no, I still won't be there.
But hey, if we're going to miss a week, it actually makes sense because probably a lot of our audience will be seeing what's going on there.
Oh, yeah. That's probably a good reason for us not to be here next weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, chances are we're not going to be here anyway. I'm on vacation. I'm going to find something to do.
Well, it doesn't like that boot disc that clearly says bootable on it, so.
Tony Ryan said 3 minutes left. That machine better boot. Ollie said, I'm so tired. I spent 8.5 hours on my motorcycle today visiting ruined stones. 8.5 hours on a bike's a long time. Tom said that's from a movie, Better Off Dead. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Oh, we got a command prompt. This is, again, IBM PC DOS, though. So, I don't think this is going to work any better, but hey, let's find out.
Let's just do it.
This is actually an older version of PC DOS. The last one was 3.3 and this is 3.0, but
you know, a guy could get mad putting all them discs in there and not having it work. Better Off Dead. Was that the movie where the kid falls into the garbage truck? And then, or into the truck, and then the guy goes, That's a shame, throwing away a perfectly good white boy like that. Can't remember if that's the same movie or not. There was a lot of stops as well, so maybe only have. Oh, well, then stop being a wuss. What's 4 hours on? Oh no, I'm just kidding. Tom said, "Yep, yeah, that was a good movie. I mean, good movie for those days." So I don't know if I shared with you guys, but I've been watching Knight Rider, like the original 1982, David Hasselhoff, Michael Knight, and it's in high definition. That show was never meant to be in high definition. So you can pick up a lot of discrepancies in it that you probably couldn't in standard definition. Plus, like the finish on the car is awful. There's like swirl marks and stuff. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun watching that. So we're my wife and I are watching it. So we're into and he's a creeper. He's totally a creeper. I don't know in real life. I mean, David Hasselhoff might be a nice guy, but Michael Knight, totally a creeper in that show. Always hugging up and kissing on the girls. But it's been a lot of fun watching it. So. David, if you're watching, David Hasselhoff, please get a hold of me. I want to know if you're really a creeper.
Don't hassle the Hoff, man.
No, I can't hassle the Hoff. No. He's always had a really good sense of humor about the whole thing, talking to the watch and, like he kind of, I mean, it's where he came from, Yeah. Unlike, Vanilla Ice. Anytime anybody asked him to do Ice Ice Baby, he would get so mad. And it's like, well, that's where you came from, man. You have 2 minutes. Are we
I'm
close?
trying to find it set to see if it does anything. I don't think I've got anything else that might be a better bootable disk. I've got a couple more I can try, but I don't know what version of DOS is on them.
Can't you just make a bootable disk off the Windows 98?
I don't think a 360 kilobyte Windows 98 boot disk is going to work. The other thing is this computer's in 8088. It doesn't have.
Andy said, "Me and you, thanks so much for another fantastic show this evening. I hope you have a great vacation. Please take care and keep yourselves safe." I appreciate that. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. I'm definitely just looking forward for the time off. I get to hang out with the family. I get to hang out with my number one son. He's only number one because he was born first. My number one son without a computer stuffed in front of him. So that'll be a definite game changer.
So you're saying all I have to do to ruin your vacation is send Xander a gaming laptop?
Yeah, it would really ruin my vacation if you sent him like a brand new high-end gaming laptop. He said that would really suck.
Yep. Better send him two than make it twice as bad.
Yeah. This particular week, the places that we're going this week is really more about my wife and Zach. But next week, we will be doing some stuff that Xander wants to do. So,
taking him to the angsty teenager zone.
Yeah. So Tom said that was called friendly back then. It's really true. Then that's what I said to my wife too. I said, well, maybe back, because I don't really remember, but I said maybe back in the 80s, everybody was more friendly like that. Like it wasn't really a big deal to just like walk up and kind of hug around somebody. But I don't know. It just feels really dirty to watch it now. So, and then Tom said Richard Dawson, Mr. Kissy Face. That was creepy even back then. Oh, that guy. Whew. Yeah, he was taking advantage of some ladies for sure. Paul Cumber says he's still using Windows 7. And there's nothing wrong with that, Paul. Windows 7 was a fantastic operating system. So
I like Windows 10. I don't mind it. I know it's not It's a little more in your face than Windows 7 was.
Well, now that I have Windows 11,
You and the rest of the internet.
yeah, I didn't download it.
I don't believe.
It feels dirty. You know, I don't know. Like computer wise, I guess I'm not into computers the way I used to be either. You know, years ago I would have jumped all over getting a copy of 11 just to mess with it, if it is a legitimate 11. You know what I mean?
Sure it is.
But I just just don't. I just want my stuff to work. You know, I want it to do what I want it to do. I want it to play Minecraft.
Your craft?
So I'm trying to convince Xander to do a gaming live stream with me, where we both, you know, like he streams on his channel and I stream on this channel, and we play something great, like one of the Lego games, straight through, start to end, no matter how long it takes. I think that would be glorious. Tom said Russian OS. No, the OS isn't Russian, only the adware and spyware that it comes with. You know, in Russia, the 11 OS is new. Both playing OG Mario.
The B drive on this computer won't rate because I was thinking, oh, maybe the problem is that it doesn't have command files. You know what I mean? And it's trying to manipulate the file system, and there wasn't enough room on the disk for me to have the iOmega stuff and the system files.
So what you're saying is this was a failure.
It's beginning to seem that way. Give me 2 seconds. I want to try one more thing.
Well, we're already 3 minutes over. You might as well take 2 more seconds. You know, a guy might be able to get it fixed in 2 seconds, but I don't know. Ooh, it's hotter than the 1990s Britney Spears up in here.
Oh, baby.
Make him play Pong. Yeah, I mean, even thinking back to like the Atari 2600, how terrible the graphics were on that thing, but man, that was so cutting edge. Good night, Sergio. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Happy Dudes Day to everybody. I'm going to start that. I'm going to petition to get it changed from Father's Day to Dudes Day. Have him play Leisure Suit Larry. Okay, so he came to me, was it this week? I don't know. He came to me and asked me if he could watch Rick and Morty. And so I said, well, I guess so. I mean, he is almost 15 years old. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. He's been watching all of Rick and Morty. So be a mean dad and make him play E.T. Oh, you win the internet, Bob. You win the internet. Oh my God, that game was horrific. Oh, you fall in that pit and never get out. Lars said old computers don't do things in 2 seconds.
Let's do a control break. Yes, let's terminate the batch job. Does the sys command work? No, of course not. I would like to check.
How much memory does that machine got?
Less than 640, I think.
Okay, so yeah, not loading anything high on that.
No. Yeah, I don't think any of these boot disks actually have the mem option for me to find out.
Well, plug in the modem and dial into AOL, because there's a site online where you can build DOS boot disks. I do think that we're going to have to call it here.
I'm just trying to find out. So this disk has the sys command on it. I was wondering if there's a way for me to sys the other disk. It may have enough space for the boot files on it, but I'm thinking not. I'm just going to try sticking this disk in here, see if it reads.
Thank you for being here, Tom.
If it would read the B drive for just a second, I could sys it and it would be good. Okay, I think we can wrap up here.
All
This
right.
is a bit of a file.
You got anything you want to plug?
Just my nose because this stinks.
It doesn't stink as bad as Dave's filament. Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the Sunday. It's the time where I get sad because we're leaving you. But I do want to thank each and every one of you for being here, and I really want to thank those of you who threw down the money. It's not ever required, but it is always appreciated. We will definitely use it for good and never for evil. We will figure out how to do a giveaway at some point. I didn't even do a birthday stream this year, which kind of stinks because we always gave good stuff away for birthday streams, but we'll get it worked out. I do have a video coming out tomorrow at noon, and that is my MakerBox video, and it is the first time that Zach actually gets to talk. It'll take a little while to get all that evened out and get him, figured out and where he can be. So, but thank you guys so much. Otherwise, I got nothing. I'm going to have a great week. I'm going to relax. We will not see you guys next Sunday. Any of you going to Murph, enjoy it. Otherwise, we'll see you 2 weeks. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
We should be good for 2 weeks.
Not next Saturday, but the Saturday after.
But any which way, thank you guys. And until next time, as always,
High five.
on.